Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan D. League's almost done. That means it's time for awards. And my favorite award, the Jack Adams Award, the one where we get to focus on the coaches who are clearly above everybody else at developing talent, bringing people together, communicating skills, tactics, putting it all together. And what are you talking about, coach? They're just gonna give it to the first place guy. Yeah, I know, we're still bitter about Maurice not getting it 3 years ago, but c'est la vie, let's get into the awards. So stick with us till the end of the video. We are going to talk about what it takes to be a coach in today's NHL, and oh my God, is it a hard job? Like, you get paid millions of dollars, so I don't really feel that bad for you, but I think it is harder today than it ever has been. It all has to do with young players coming into the league and communication to those young players.
Good practice, team. Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cuts. Now, while I wasn't able to cut everyone I wanted to, I have cut a lot of you. Wendell is cut. Rudy is cut. Janie, you're gone. Steven, I like your hustle. That's why it was so hard to cut you.
We are talking you have to take superstars from all over the world and design them into your system, or better yet, design a system and a lesson plan around them to create success in your organization. So we're going to hit that intro. We're going to go over the handful of coaches that I think are at the tops. Stick around to the end, and I'm going to tell you who my pick would be, but I'm also going to lead in with the league favorite, Rod Brind'Amour. Roll that intro.
Here's Lemieux. The center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux. Oh, my God. Oh, baby.
Rod Brind'Amour. Can't get rid of him. I remember as a kid being so frustrated at this guy playing for the Carolina Hurricanes. His work ethic, his stupid nose, the way he talked. I just really hated the Carolina Hurricanes as a kid. But Rod Brind'Amour's legendary work ethic has rubbed off on Carolina, and he has made a diamond out of coal, baby. He is clearly the front runner, not just in betting odds, but probably in most analysts' eyes. Go to thehockeywriters.com. They'll have him at number one. But you know what? Go back 2 months. They're going to talk about Sheldon Keefe. Go back 3 months. Paul Maurice somehow entered that conversation. I think he's getting the Sacco this year at the bottom of the pack. So what makes Rod Brind'Amour Rod Brind'Amour? Number one is work ethic. This guy, as a player, outworked everybody in the league. So when he speaks to his players, especially the young ones, they are going to buy in because of his intensity, his clarity, and his absolute gift of communication. But don't let that Stanley Cup ring on his finger fool you. That is a powerful device. It's like an infinity stone to a player in a locker room. You show a young player a Stanley Cup ring, you tell him you have what it takes to win it as a player. You can relate to him on that stance. You automatically get credibility. The difficulty some of these coaches have, some of them actually haven't won a Stanley Cup. Others of them have or haven't been players. Some of them were dusty players. Some of them are good players. But Rod Brind'Amour was an elite player who did things the right way, who knew how to grind, who knew how to play physical, and got a cup out of it. The first cup for the Carolina Hurricanes, and I expect he will be bringing a second cup home to Carolina within the next 2 or 3 years, but not this year. What does his resume include? Oh, I don't know. How about just a really balanced scoring attack between Sebastian Aho, Vincent Trocheck, Dougie Hamilton, career year under Brind'Amour? Not surprised. That guy has been traded to so many teams it makes my head spin, and great coaches, but Brind'Amour makes him a thing. So Brind'Amour is a front runner. But let's go through a couple of the other deserving nominees, because frankly, this coach wouldn't be giving it to old Rod, although he is quite good. So number two we have to talk about is probably Mike Sullivan. And I know there are going to be tons of people on this channel just sick of the Pittsburgh Penguins, sick of them. It's like they've been around forever. Well, when you got a player like Crosby back in 2004, 2005, yeah, you are going to be around forever. And they're likely not going anywhere anytime soon. Do you guys remember when Pittsburgh was looking at blowing up their entire team, wholesaling everybody to the farm, and where Crosby was going to get traded to? Because Mike Sullivan sure doesn't. He has now coached the Pittsburgh Penguins to number one in the NHL's hardest division in my eyes. He has taken a wily group of veterans, built fantastic systems around them, and clearly knows how to get buy-in. This Stanley Cup winning coach has this team wrapped around his finger. There is fantastic communication between him and Sid. Pretty tough not to see him as a real outside threat to Brind'Amour's crown this year. Mike Sullivan is looking good. If you're liking this video, if you're into coaches, if you're into the Jack Adams Awards, smash the subscribe if you're first time to this channel. We're going all the way to 400 subscribers. This bandwagon, you know, kind of like the Leafs, is piling up. It's filling up. Tuck in your shirts. It's time to go forward. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. Let's get on with more coaches. Coach Q, baby. Joel Quenneville, my pick for the greatest coach in the NHL right now. Yes, even above a future person on this list that we'll talk about later. Coach Q is probably the best communicator in hockey. Nobody deals with spoiled little up-and-coming baby brats better than Coach Q. He understands how to talk to veterans. He understands how to talk to players lower on the depth chart. He understands how to get buy-in from young superstars and put them into positions not only for their success, but more importantly for the team's success. You never hear a peep coming out of a Quenneville-led team. You didn't hear one coming out of Chicago, even when he gracefully had to exit down to Florida. You definitely don't hear it coming out of Florida. I mean, this guy has made Valery Nichushkin a thing again. The bust, the Russian rocket. He is now a thing under Coach Q, because when Coach Q speaks, you listen, and that comes with 3 Stanley Cup rings. Florida is an absolute threat to win the Cup this year. Second place in their division. I think a bigger favorite over the Carolina Hurricanes. It's been a little while since we've seen Coach Q get this award. Pretty much you could just pencil his name on it every year as a nominee, and it's totally fair. Quenneville comes in as my number 3 right now in Jack Adams Awards, and I think he's nipping at the heels as well. I don't think he's going to get it though. I really don't, but he should. Jared Bednar, the Colorado Avalanche. Whoa, everybody, let's talk about the Colorado Avalanche. Woo, Colorado, they're so good. Blind Squirrel could coach this team. Have you seen this roster? It's disgusting. It is ridden with talent from top to bottom. Anyone could literally walk into this bench, open and close the door, win a Stanley Cup, call it a day, especially with Sakic up there in that front office. So Blind Squirrel finds a nut, yet because they are the NHL's favorite to win the Cup, had a fantastic year. He's got to be on this list, but I'm going to say it right now. I don't think he deserves to be here. I think his team is excellent. I don't think he's a bad coach at all. I just don't think he's in the same conversation as everybody else. Everyone is going to shower praise on him for getting this team to move forward. You know what? Cross your arms, roll the lines, throw them out. Colorado wins. Yikes. No idea. But, all right, let's back up. Let's give him a little bit of a fair shot. You're more biased than anyone that's ever spoken on YouTube, and you want to give him a fair shot. Yeah, no, I'm here. Well, let's try. We'll give him a fair shot right now. So what did he do? He took the 3rd best player in the world and Nathan MacKinnon, arguably 2, maybe 1 if you live on the moon or under a rock or just a biased Avalanche fan. But yeah. And then this guy, Mikko Rantanen and Landeskog and Cale Makar and Burakovsky. Well, he did deal with Kadri. Yeah, Babcock couldn't even deal with Kadri, but Leafs fans had to endure him for 5 years, right? Am I right? Ooh. Nazem Kadri. But yeah, Jared Bednar, Colorado Avalanche. He's on the list. If you want to go see Bednar's tires get pumped, I'm sure there's a lot of other analysts out there that are going to tell you all the wonderful things that he did. But I am locking into Blind Squirrel finds a nut. Colorado's just that good. So I'm going to move on to somebody else. Second last name on this list, Barry Trotz. Barry's won it twice in the last 5 years. Once with Washington, then goes over to the New York Islanders. We're all sitting here going, what's he doing? Following Lou Lamoriello. That's what he's doing. Lou can build a team. Barry can coach a team. Who even plays on the New York Islanders? No, seriously, like, I watch hockey a lot. Who's their captain? Anders Lee. Who the hell is Anders Lee? Anders Lee is their captain. So an Anders Lee-led team with Jordan Eberle and hold on, I'm definitely not checking my stats sheet right now, looking for who's on that team. Oh, yeah. Josh Bailey and Brock Nielsen and Nick Leddy. Yeah, Nick Leddy. Who used to coach him and made Nick Leddy a thing? Oh yeah, Coach Q. Anyways, back to pretending like I know who's on the New York Islanders. Seriously, Anders Lee's the captain of this team, and Barry Trotz has taken them to further heights than anybody really thought they could because they're bought in. I love watching the Islanders play. I really do. I think the Islanders are primed to upset the Penguins in the first round. They are. I'm still taking Pittsburgh, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Islanders upset them. I don't think it's as big of a long shot as people think. They play fast. They play super fast. They play an incredible team game. Their transition is flawless. This team's biggest strength is behind its bench in Barry Trotz. It's not in its players. Second MVP of this team is in its front office and Lou Lamoriello. This team is moving towards good things. And frankly, if you gave them one or two good players, if they had a Nathan McKinnon kicking tires with them, then this would be game over, top of their division, game, set, match. But in spite of all that, Barry Trotz makes it a thing. But I don't think Barry Trotz is going to win it this year because Barry Trotz has won it too many times. That's my logic. That's it. They don't give it to guys back to back. So I don't see him getting a back to back. I don't see him getting a third. I think they're going to move on to somebody else. Like I said, I think it's Brind'Amour, but hold steady because my pick is coming up now. There's no Jets fans in here, is there? Okay. Hey, I need you guys. Come here. Don't say anything too loud, okay? I need you to be on the level. This is just between you and me. So anybody else who's watching this that isn't a bandwagon shirt-tucking corporate fan who cheers for the Leafs, turn off YouTube right now. Just turn it off. Yeah? Okay. Okay, Leafs fans, I think we're alone here. I'd pick Sheldon Keefe. Okay, I didn't explode into a million pieces giving the Leafs a freaking compliment, but I'd pick Sheldon Keefe. I don't know how you can't, in my opinion. Sheldon Keefe took the perennial Zeus of coaches, Mr. Untouchable Mike Babcock, who couldn't do jack with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Mr. Team Canada, Mr. Untouchable, Mr. I Wrote a Book, Mike Babcock's quotes for coaching that are on dressing room walls. He couldn't win with the Leafs. It is difficult to win in Toronto. Toronto fans, Toronto media, they're on you 24/7. Toronto ownership, I don't know what they do other than sell cell phones, but I'm sure they're like high pressured. But Shanahan's sure on you. He's sure on you. And it is hard to play in that bubble. You have the most talented young players in a system from all over the world. It is difficult when you are coaching Americans, Europeans, and Canadians, all coming from drastically different systems, all different ages. Mitch Marner comes in, high draft pick, usurped by Austin Matthews. There could be a power struggle there, but nope, makes best friends out of them. They have had a better year this year under Keefe than they have under anybody else. You could call it development all you want, but Sheldon Keefe got them going forward due to one major factor, and that's communication. He is the best communicator in the NHL right now, bar none. John Tavares comes in as captain, correct pick. He finds a way to not only get JT the C because he is the right choice over Austin Matthews, but he takes a guy who humbly accepts a second line role and carries Willie Nylander, who takes Willie Nylander and pairs him with John Tavares, and John Tavares says, "Come with me, young Padawan, let me show you how to play hockey." He creates one of the best top fours in the NHL, one of the deepest three lines. Nick Foligno ends up coming in. See? Didn't say Fogliano this time. Nick Fogliano comes in, rounds out the roster, and then he is able to take players like Joe Thornton, like Jason Spezza, Wayne Simmons, and make them a thing and harmonize youth, age, veterans, players from all around the world, create a cohesive message and go forward. But he's still got to win. I mean, if you go out in the first round, like just throw this in the trash. I'm done. I'm out on Keefe. If you're out in the first round, I'm out. Brind'Amour all day, baby. But I don't think that's going to happen. Sheldon Keefe deals with the media every single day, and people might be saying, well, Ryan, coaches deal with the media every day. Not like they do in Toronto. No chance do they have to deal with that. He keeps a smile on his face the entire way with no panic. This is a man whose only credentials behind his name before he started coaching the Toronto Maple Leafs was an AHL run with the Marlies. Toronto could have kicked him out the door at any point in time, and he knew it. For somebody better, sweeter, hotter, or older, what up, Calgary Flames and Daryl Sutter, your big savior? But he kept going forward, preaching his message. His message was different than most coaches. He brought fun back to practice. Yes, men like to have fun in practice. He brought smiles back to players. He got players buying in and playing with each other, and he found a way to blend youth, skill, speed, talent, and systems together to create what we see today. So Leafs fans, fine, hats off. I think it's Keefe. Keefe's got my vote. I want you guys to tell me who's your vote for Jack Adams down below. It better not be Paul Maurice or whoever's coaching the Calgary Flames. Seriously, how good were the Calgary Flames to start the beginning of the year? Like, well, I guess before they played a game, but they looked amazing on paper, and the dude gets fired like 10 days in. I don't even remember his name. Comment down below. Duster. And then Daryl Sutter, who has literally, I don't know, woken himself out of a drunken stupor, usually by about January, in order to win a Stanley Cup a few times. Sometimes I don't even know if Daryl remembers to put on pants. Sutters. All of them. Thank you for checking out this video. Like, subscribe, smash. We're going to be talking about Norris. We're going to be talking about Vezinas, Art Ross's, Hearts, going all the way through. So if you're looking for amazing hockey content, Hot Garbage Sports Coach Ryan D has got you. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.